All right, boys and girls, the one and only Bob, Katherine, Applegate. Last title we read, sounded like Bob was getting caught. It was called Inside. Next title, The Return of Snickers, page 242. The man pulls me along with his lasso. I decide not to argue. We enter a small room stacked with animal-filled metal cages, and I'm assaulted by howls and hisses. The cold water on the floor sloshes as we walk, just skimming my belly. As bad as my smeller is, I instantly pick up on one distinctive odor. It's like the world's worst perfume, the kind old ladies emit, the kind people spray on their dogs to camouflage their lovely dog stink, the kind Snickers wears. I catch a glimpse of her in the upper cage, bed-raggled bow in her droopy hair. "Snick, baby, fancy meeting you here," I say. "You look good behind bars." "Harebrain," she replies. "Hey," calls a rabbit who 2 cages down. "Watch your language." "Matt couldn't deal with you?" I ask Snickers. "He brought me here because he thought it would be safer." "Seems he may have been mistaken," I say. Carefully grabbing my scruff, Cowboy lifts me onto the upper cage. He pulls the lasso loose and shuts the barred door. I'm not happy, but it's a relief to be out of the noose. "Oh, great, another one?" calls a woman wearing tall rubber boots. She pauses in the doorway. "I thought we were turning people away." "People, yes," says Cowboy, "but this pup came solo." "Tick-tock, folks," says an older, ruddy-faced officer. He's holding a radio in one hand and a flashlight in the other. "You were running out of time." "We hear you, but first we got to move everybody who's lower level, boot size. Last hurricane we had 2 feet to deal with. I swear, they're getting worse." "Climate change," says the officer. "What are you going to do?" "More than we're doing," says Boots. "That much is for sure." "I'll move the dogs from room 2, Cowboy offers. "There are only a couple on the bottom level. We're out of cages, though. We'll have to double up." "Put that little female in with the new guy," says Boots. "They look like twins." I'm shivering, and it's not because I'm cold. I press my hurt nose to the metal bars. I smell something. I do. I hear something. I do. Cowboy returns. Dog in arms. A bark. That bark. The door to my cage opens. "Hey," I say automatically, even though my heart is already whispering the truth to me. "They call me Bob." "They call me Boss," said the voice. But now I know. Of course I know. I am howling with joy. Next topic, alive. Thunder claps, shutters fly, windows rattle, water rushes, dogs whimper, cats howl, people yell, and all I can hear is my sister's voice. Title, Catching Up. We lick each other, sniff, yelp, circle, wrestle. Neither of us was ever that touchy-feely sort, but sometimes you just gotta let it all out. "Wow," says Cowboy watching us, "you think they knew each other." Next title, Tough. Boss isn't anything like I remember. She's scrawny and flea-covered. Her left ear has a big notch in it. Her fur is dulled, her body scarred, her tail cut short. I'm afraid to ask how that happened. She clearly had it tough, really tough. "I thought I heard you bark," I say, but then it stopped. Figured I was crazy. I was napping. "In this chaos," I asked, "I can sleep anywhere. It's a gift." Boss nibbles on a toenail. "Funny thing is, I was having a dream about you. Must have caught a whiff of you in my sleep." "I can't stop staring, Boss. Here with me." "What?" she asks when she catches me looking at her. "I was just wondering," I say, "about your life. Do you have, anybody? You mean like humans?" "Nope." She gives a little flick of her stubby tail. "Never have, never will." "You been on your own this whole time?" I flash on my cushy bed, my lovely food bowl, and the way everyone knows just how I like my ear scratches. "Yep." "How'd you end up here?" "I was scrounging for food, just had another litter, and I was tired, off my game. Animal control got me." She licks her nasty cut on her front paw. "Wait," my ears prick up. "So you have puppies?" "That would make me an uncle, a dog uncle, on top of being an honorary elephant uncle." "Had the last bunch 7, maybe 8 weeks ago." She scratches out a flea. "Last batch," I repeat. "You mean you've had others?" "Yep." "What happened to them?" "Don't know. It's not like they come home for the holidays, Bob." Boss lies down in an old towel lining our cage. "Or should I call you Rowdy?" She considers. "Nope. No, I like the sound of Bob." "Me too. Anyway," Boss says, mostly they're dead, I guess. You never know, though. Maybe a few got rescued." She's so matter-of-fact, so resigned. This last litter, well, I thought I was onto something. Found this little car, those ones that look like a big old bug, abandoned, right down by the creek, near the bridge. Easy access through the hole in the floorboard, blanket in the back seat. She pauses. All the amenities. How many puppies, I asked. 3, but only one survived, a male. The other 2 were pretty sickly, and, well, Something crashes into the front office. Sounds like a window's broken. We got to get out of here, an orange-striped cat howls. He throws himself against the front of his cage and pokes out his paw, grabbing for the latch. I'm too young to die. When they caught me, Boss continues, ignoring the cat, I barked for the puppy to sit tight. Wait. Told him I'd be right back, she sighs. Nice. Last thing he'll ever hear was a lie. What's his name? The puppy. She looks at me like I'd ask her if she's ever been to the moon. I don't name them, Bob. Just makes it harder. Below us, the water's slowly rising, filling the empty lower cages. We watch the humans rush back and forth, carrying buckets as if they can stem the tide. There's nothing to do, nothing to say, and nowhere to go. Next title, Not Right. I stared at my sister and tried to imagine all the pain she's endured. And here I thought I'd gotten a raw deal. To lose your pups, to wander alone, to struggle for every drop of water, every crumb of food. I mean, I experienced a little of that, but Ivan and Stella kept me going. And then Julia and her family. Why me? What's so special about me? Is it really that I'm more resilient? That I've made my own luck? Am I somehow better than Boss? More deserving? It's not right, I blurt. Not right, you should have had it worse than me. Well, if you want to talk about not right, you and I both had it a whole lot better than our siblings, Boss says. I'll never forgive those people for what they did to us, I say through clenched jaws. Really? Boss seems surprised. If I held on to that much anger, I'd never get out of bed. Not that I've ever had a real bed. She sniffs a towel beneath her feet. This towel's kind of nice, actually. I look at her in disbelief. You're one of those? Those dogs must forgive no matter what types? She almost looks amused. Well, it is kind of our thing, right? When someone does something awful, hurtful, they have to admit it, I say. Then they have to be punished for it. And maybe then, if they apologize and change, maybe then they get forgiven. All I know is I've done lots of bad stuff in my life, Bob. I've had to forgive myself plenty just, to get through the day. Boss gazes at me with her wise, weary eyes. And I figure if I'm going to forgive myself, I better be ready to cut everyone else some slack too. Next title, Evacuate Now. Look, says the officer, you need to evacuate now. It's mandatory. We can't just leave these animals. Cowboy sticks his finger in the orange cat's cage. The cat rubs against it, purring like his life depends on it, which it maybe kind of does. The officer sighs. You don't have a choice. We can't just leave him, says Boots, and I have to applaud her enthusiasm, even as I wonder why she'd risk her life for us. There's no explaining humans. Just got a word to bridge over Big Fork Creek collapsed, the officer says. You guys gotta move. Boots snaps her fingers. Wait, you have a cop car, right? Yes, I have a vehicle, ma'am, says the officer, but the way the roads are looking, probably not for long. Okay, says Boots, so we evacuate. We evacuate every last cat and dog and gerbil that we can get in your car. The officer purses his lips. And take them where exactly? Shelter at the high school. That's where we've been sending people. They're not really set up for it, but once we started flooding and elementary school stopped taking pets, they agreed to do what they can. The officer grumbles, considers, goes for it. The 3 humans load cats, dogs, parakeets, and hamsters one after another into the police car. Some are in cages, some, including a couple of unhappy cats, are in a tug-of-war strings. Finally, it's our turn. Looks like there are 9 of us left. Car's full and then some, the officer reports, struggling to shut down the shelter's front doors against the rising water. We are officially out of room. Cowboy looks at us, his eyes teary. Don't worry, fellas, we'll be back, he sniffles. I promise. You think we should leave the cages open? At least give them a fighting chance, asks Boots? In case, Sure, but they couldn't handle this current. I could barely stand up. Cowboy shakes his head. Look, I'll borrow my brother's bass boat. We'll come right back. Hopefully the water won't get much higher than this. Okay then, Boots gives him a grim nod. Stay calm, friends. Like that's an option. Next title, Preparing for the Worst. The wind slows for a moment and then the room gets silent. We stare at the black pool swallowing the cages below. A chew toy shaped like a pink turtle floats past. It's just us and a whole lot of water. I check out the group. 2 cats, 1 bunny, 6 dogs, including Snickers, Boss, and me. There's nowhere to jump. No tables, no cabinets, no space above the upper cages. And as Cowboy pointed out, the current's probably too strong for us to tackle anyway. Folks, don't give up hope. You heard them, I say. They're coming back for us. No way they're coming back, says the sad-faced beagle mix. Give me a break. You never know, I say. I'm such a lousy liar. Oh, yes, we do, my sister mutters, just loud enough for me to hear. And we share a look. Look, chances are the water won't get too much higher, I say, but just in case, just to be on the safe side, pile up anything you have in your cages. Bowls, towels, toys. Who died and made you pack leader, asked the big mutt with graying snout. Well, it beats howling like babies, I say, and instantly I remember landing in Stretch's domain. Howling like a baby is exactly what I did. I had a dog biscuit this morning, bigger than you, says Gray Muzzle. What about me? Someone squeaks. Does the bunny get a vote? Hold on, Thumper, says the orange cat. This clearly is a job for a higher feline intellect. No, a sharp voice raises above the din. Listen to Bob. He's annoying, and his hygiene leaves a lot to be desired. But I've seen him get himself out of all kinds of scraps. Thanks for the props, Nick, I say, especially the kind words about my odor. The wind groans, and something metallic hits the side of the building. Well, we fall silent again, waiting for more. The windows rattle. The walls shudder. It's like the building is scared as the rest of us. So, Snicker says, breaking the gloom, you heard Bob start stacking. How about my litter box? Asks the small white cat with dark green eyes. Would that work? Sure, I say. Use anything. The goal is to get as high as you can. And then what? Asked the young dachshund. Worst case, we swim for it, I say. That's actually not the worst case, says the bunny. No one asks what is. We already know. A question. We all do what we can do, which isn't much. The rain hammers, the wind shrieks, sirens come and go in the distance. I wonder what Ivan and Ruby are doing. And what about George and Julia? Where are they? How are they? Boss seems scary calm. Tough old jerky. She looks the way I want to feel. Before long, the water is lapping onto the floor of our cages. It's ice cold and moving quick. 1 inch, 2. Every now and then someone whimpers and moans, but mostly we're quiet. If you can stand on your hind legs, guys, do it. Climb on anything you get. Anything you got, I suggest. I turn to Boss. When I say go, I want you to climb on my back. It'll buy you a little more time, maybe. No way. Please, I need to do this. Boss just stares at me. She's so thin. I can see every rib. To make it up to you, I add. What are you even talking about, Bob? I look away. I'm sorry, I say, not sure where my words are taking me. I should have saved you, boss. Saved me? The thing is, I heard you on the highway, and I should have. My voice trails off. I stifle a sob. Bob, we were puppies. Tiny puppies. Don't be ridiculous. How exactly were you going to save me? I don't know, but I should have tried. We both did what we had to do, boss nudges me gently. Bob, this is crazy. I can't seem to forgive myself, I whisper it. But I know she hears me. Beneath the water, I feel a paw on mine. I forgive you, okay? Not that you need it, mind you. One condition, though. I nod and wait. You have to forgive yourself, too. Again, I nod, and slowly but surely something fine and warm begins to fill my heart. Next title, Romeo. Before I can say anything, Snickers calls my name. Bob, dear, there's something I want you to know. Boss winks at me. Listen up, brother. Sure, Snickers, I call. What's up? Snickers makes a little throat-clearing noise. I've kept this locked inside me all this time, but now, facing the end, I feel I need to unburden myself. Really, Snick? I say, quickly. There's no need for that. The thing is, Snickers paused for dramatic effect. I love you, Bob. I always have. I love you. I love the way your cute little tail gets all curled between your legs when you're embarrassed. I love the way you hum to yourself when you chew your kibble. I love the way you drool when you take a nap. I think I'm getting the picture, Snick. Thanks. That's awfully nice of you to say. And, Snicker says, Boss can't hide her amusement. Go ahead, Bob, she whispers. What can it hurt? We're all going to die anyway. Bobo, Snickers calls. There's a picture of Snickers. Yeah? Yeah, sure. I think you're pretty swell too, Snick. And what is it that you love about me? I close my eyes, take a deep breath. Well, those pink boots of yours. Those are cool. And? I swear I'm trying, but I'm totally drawing a blank. In fairness, the water's up to my belly and my teeth are chattering so loud I couldn't hear myself think. And, I began, oh, come on, how hard is it? Yells the bunny, who's perched up in a pile of Timothy hay. She's a looker and she's smart and she's way too good for the likes of you. Try that, Romeo. You're a looker and you're smart and you're way too good for the likes of me, I repeat. Snickers lets out a contented sigh. That wasn't so hard, was it? Boss asks. I groan. Sis, you have no idea.